So the main difference is, well, for one, it will take longer for the hard percent by about somewhere between 7 to 10 minutes, because the enemies have more health and they move a lot faster. That's the main difference. So that's what you'd be seeing. All right. Yeah, for sure. I, yeah, so a lot of it is. So this game is a beat 'em up. A lot of people are familiar with the fighting game for Sailor Moon. This one's a beat 'em up, mostly based on season one of Sailor Moon. Um, so we'll be fighting Queen Beryl and several of her minions, and a lot of the tech has to do with just of course, like with most beat 'em ups, timing how often you attack, how often you avoid getting hit, and of course timing out when they're coming from the left or the right. um, I feel like this game gets it doesn't get as much attention, and I think part of that is because it wasn't released in North America. It was released in Europe and Japan, but for games that got released, worldwide, they tend to get more attention. They tend to be seen more often. So hopefully, I'll be showing something that a lot of people haven't seen yet. So. Yeah, let me go ahead and do a reset and start it up. Have to go in the settings, set it on hard. And so the rule set is basically whenever I get control of the character, it'd start the timer. So it'll be in a little moment, a few moments. So let's see. It'll be right when you see Sailor Jupiter on screen in the beat 'em up. That's when the timer starts. So it'll be about 3, 2, 1, now. And a lot of this is you don't want to get to your like if you keep attacking, a lot of the characters will do some kind of move that makes the enemies fly forward. Don't want to do that. Just keep them on the ropes for as long as you can. This guy's trolling me. Just picking that up for no reason. A lot of health upgrades, a lot of unhealthy health upgrades. Oh shoot. There we go. And they'll do that bob and weave a bit. You ideally want to get them to line up like that as much as you can, especially in hard percent. Just to get it, take them out as fast as possible. But yeah, the enemies in hard percent are a lot faster. It's not that noticeable. I mean, if I showed normal percent just before this, you'd see the difference. But they are significantly faster. And actually, on easy percent, which I know that wasn't a run that was going to be shown here, they move slow as molasses. It's pretty ridiculous to see. That was a hidden life there. I didn't really need it. It's like pick it up as kind of a habit. Okay, good. We got good RNG there. Oh, shoot. And then I did a suplex by accident. You wanted to line up there, so that was ideal, and I kind of messed that one up. So here, to get these guys lined up, stand about here, jump over these two, and then hope the other two kind of move within range of your punches like that. The hit detection's really weird, so it's like she's punching people with her shoulder or something there. It's kind of strange. Usually screen scrolling's a little faster, just slightly if you jump. It's just a lot of places it's not ideal, because you'll end up jumping into danger. But there are a lot of places, well, let's just say a few places in the game that there's just a stretch of no enemies, and you'll want to jump forward because it pans the screen a little bit faster. And the timing for punching these guys is kind of tight. If you get it off just a little bit, they will retaliate. I mean, it looks like it's really easy, because it looks like, oh, well, they just don't even have a chance. Like, you just keep them locked in several punches, but if you're off by just a little bit, they will attack, especially in the later levels. And you may see that, like, if my timing's off, you'll see one of them, like, hit me in retaliation. Level 1's a little bit more forgiving about that, though. There are 5 stages in this game, to clarify, too. With stage 4 actually being the longest, with, like, I think it's 2 fairly long parts to it. So here, this boss actually has iframes, so anytime you see my punches not registering, like, I just need to move out of the way. Shoot, I messed up the timing there. There we go. And you also do not want to uppercut this enemy. Because if you do... Oh shoot, he's getting away from me. If you do, he'll do like a pounce attack on you. And you don't want that. But yeah, that's a lot of the enemies. A lot of the enemies do have like iframes, and you have to avoid... like, you either have to avoid them, or you just want to stay near them even though they're gonna hit you, just to stay in range. I think the second to last boss is gonna be like that. Okay, good, I got the one off screen. So this level's actually based on the... there's an episode where they go to an amusement park, and there's a doll that gets turned... that gets brought to life in a, like, candy house. And that's what this level's about. It's kind of based on that one episode. That's like the one healthy item there is a watermelon. Shoot. They're trolling me now. So that one, you have to suplex that enemy, because if you don't, if you just keep punching, that one will attack you back. It's just set to do that. Also don't want to get hit by the trains. Mostly trying not to get hit there. Some of the enemies moved a little bit of a different way than I thought they would there. These guys can really mess you up. They might actually take one of my lives. Because the timing is really tight. Yep, so... yeah, those guys, like... I like when the one guy gets hit with the train, but those guys, you have to have really good timing to be able to hit all three of them at the same time. So this guy jumping around here, I'm gonna have to do a lot of tossing him around. I'm essentially gonna have to juggle the clown, so to speak. To get this right, shoot, my timing is off for that attack. Guess my timing's off every time there. Shoot, you can do an elbow smash there if you time it up just right. So this enemy, you can do that, you can jump over him so he doesn't slide attack you, but some people like to just move out of the way. Just like, if you move up, that also works. It's just, that's the method I get used to, is just jumping up over him. So this place is just full of desserts. Really healthy stuff here. So yeah, a lot of juggling here so you don't get back attacked. So here's the part where you have to pan the screen a lot. So you just kind of jump for a while until you get close to the nearest enemy. And then this one will have just barely enough health. You just kick him. Just kick him out of the way. Oh shoot. There's actually one attack that Sailor Jupiter can do where you charge a beam. You actually won't see that during this run, because for one, it takes a while to charge, and all it does is basically knock the enemies back. Really useful on easy percent, because a lot of enemies go down in one hit, but not so much here. There we go. You want both of those to line up. Guy came a little late. Shoot. There we go. So here, you can walk all the way down the screen for the next enemies to come, but you can just get them to spawn, like, well before you get to the bottom of the screen. It's a little easier to line them up this way. Because otherwise you're waiting for them to come on the screen a little longer. Of course, on hard percent, since the enemies are faster, they come on screen a little faster. But on easy percent, where everyone's slow as molasses, you really want to attack them as soon as you can. Oh shoot, got my timing wrong there. And so here, we're going to use a trick that's kind of interesting. So if get you in position, there we go. A little better. So, you see the enemies just trying to back up. Those guys try to do back attacks, but all of the levels are set up where there's essentially a wall, even for enemies, on the start and end of every screen. So they have no room to back up. They can't get behind you. They're trying to, but they're just backing into a wall. And we'll use that again on the fourth stage as well. and to a lesser extent the 5th stage, but more the 4th stage. And it makes dealing with the sub-enemies a little bit easier. On easy percent, the game would actually end after stage 2. That's a lot of the reason that easy percent is a much shorter run. It's like 5 to 6 minutes, something like that. But with normal and hard, you get all the stages. So you usually wouldn't even see this if you just played easy. But I kind of like this level just because it's. I kind of like the conveyors, some of the different combos and lineups you can get with it. Also, really like the boss in this level, mostly because, I know a lot of people don't like this, but it's kind of like interesting to see what happens, and you'll see with this final boss. It's fake Sailor Moon from season 1, and so the idea is you want to try and line it up where the one extra enemy lines up with all of your attacks, and it feels like it's kind of luck for it to happen. I sort of do a good luck charm later on for, like, making it work, having to do with lining up with a pixel. It doesn't work every time, so I just call it a good luck charm. It's not known or shown to work every time. There's not a known method for it that works every time. You just kind of hope and pray it's gonna work. So here, this section actually is a little bit easier on hard percent, because I can literally just stand here and just keep punching, although you don't want to do that. Don't want to do an uppercut. But if you stay here, you, shoot, that's not good. There we go. Dang it. Well, usually you could just stand here. If you don't uppercut, you just stand there and just keep punching them. But even so, you can see how that works. On normal percent, you'll usually want to move to the middle because it's a little faster, because you'll be taking down enemies a little bit faster. Here, these guys are just going to line up. Shoot. There we go. Probably gonna lose a life here soon. Timing here is really tight. Almost never get that. Yeah, that's the nice thing about the elbow smash. Since it doesn't knock them back, just pressing down and Y, you can keep them in place there. These guys will always drop down in the same positions. Just kind of line it up for where one of them's going to land, but not so close that they land on you. Also, you may hear an extra punch when I'm punching these guys. For some reason, sometimes it'll register an extra punch while you're attacking them. Shoot. But there's like a timing you can do there. Shoot, I didn't want to throw him. Like if you time it out just right, then these guys get that extra punch that you're hearing there. None of the other enemies do that, though. Just these guys. So this is kind of my good luck charm. I try to line up Sailor Jupiter's shadow right above that bottom pixel, and just go straight. And we're gonna whip around and start attacking fake Sailor Moon. If they, oh shoot. Okay, so didn't completely land there. That wasn't good. You want her to like land just in the right spot. Okay, that works. So, like, ideally, you're punching both of them at the same time. No more are gonna spawn, so you just keep them locked in place like that. Almost all the enemies work that way, but that's the last one you can do that with without them getting iframes. The next two bosses are going to have iframes, and then they'll retaliate, and then you have to get them locked in again. But the second and third stage bosses have no iframes. You can just keep punching and just take them out that way. So this is the longest stage here. And these marionettes have a really far reach, so you want to get in close. If you don't get in close, they'll basically be able to punch you without you being able to punch them. Shoot, might get a little closer. There we go. So the timing here is a little different. I want to uppercut this guy. On normal, you'd want to just take him out right then and there. But he might move in like that, and then you're hitting two at once. It's rare for the blue guy to move in with them. He usually likes to move in maybe if there's one enemy, and sometimes not at all. So I just uppercutted that enemy because I wanted to get close to the marionette enemy there, so I didn't get attacked. But yeah, a lot of it's just trying to get the enemies. You got to get them lined up a little better with hard percent because you're not gonna take them out as fast as in normal percent. Like you'd usually be able to just knock the two out on the right and then turn around and get the one on the left. But here you have to position them just right so that they kind of line up, and you're trying to get as many combo hits in as much as you can. That's why you'll see me doing suplexes like that. Try to get them lined up. Sometimes that green guy never comes in. Okay, there he goes. So this one kind of trolls me. I always forget there's an extra enemy. It spawns on screen. That actually wasn't ideal. You want both of them to be hit at the same time. The blue guy off screen didn't exactly move where he needed to. Okay, so here, to get these two lined up, you position yourself between the tiles I'm in right now, and you stop as soon as you see the marionette enemy. As soon as you see that, you just start punching, and the other enemy will move right in position for you. It works every time. As long as you do it just right, line up your pixels, works every time. So this one, I'm going to corner these two on the left side of the screen. Normal percent, you just take them out one at a time. But here, you want to get them lined up, get your combo hits in. And here, the fastest conveyor belt changes depending on what part of the screen you're on. Like, later in the stage, maybe the top one will be the fastest, the bottom one. I don't think the bottom one's ever the fastest, come to think of it. So it's either going to be the middle or the top one. Come on. Sometimes they do not like to come in. There we go. It's even worse if one of these guys like stays on a different conveyor, and then they're offset just enough that one ends up getting behind you. You don't want that. So I had them follow me that far because they take enough hits that I don't want them just crawling off screen completely. Suplex him. Because then you'd be in trouble. You're just punching it air. Top conveyor's faster for this part. really hard to... That guy'll hit you pretty quickly, like, if you don't time it out right. Almost forgot about that one. So some of these enemies spawn, like, as the last enemy. This one spawns when it's the second to last enemy left. It's just they took all of them out at the same time. So it looked like the last enemy. Shoot. You can whip around there and turn yourself around and not accidentally suplex the enemy, but unfortunately, while you're punching an enemy, if you press the other direction, usually you'll do a suplex. Kinda tricky to get the timing right on that one. Shoot, that one got off screen. Oh no, actually that took that one. Didn't even know. Try to get these lined up. There we go. So you uppercut them, because there'll be two enemies that come from behind. This one's just kind of a mess to deal with. There's just so many enemies. And timing out your punches can be tricky. And then that guy can do that roll attack. Shoot, that one. There we go. Just likes to stay just out of reach. Just watch your friends get beat up. A lot of the time, these guys, since they prefer attacking from behind, it's almost like they don't know what to do when you're punching them. Okay, so it's kind of a good thing we don't have much health here, because one thing that happens is, after you lose a life, while you're attacking, you get iframes after spawning a lot, like in a lot of beat-em-ups. But what happens is you actually do more damage to the enemies, and you want that for the boss, like, ideally. So you see, he got iframes there, and now I have to do this again. So I might not trap the enemies on the side wall, just because it's a little faster, just to not trap them. If you can get them in a good position, and not have that happen. So you can hear a few hits registering there, extra hits, while I have the iframes. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to position them against the wall. It's, gonna make this work a little better. Oh, shoot, you don't want to uppercut there. But yeah, this is like a really safe strat in general. Sometimes he likes to stay just out of reach. But yeah, eventually he comes for you. Like, it doesn't take long, usually. Except this time. And there you go. And that's an easy way to beat that boss. But yeah, it is faster to just go after him, and preferably if you've lost a life, do extra damage. Just from attacking, so that helps. And then we're on to the final stage. So what you saw me pick up there, the roses actually restore all of your health. If you find a rose on screen, that one's hidden behind the foreground objects. Except they had to put it at the beginning of the stage, didn't they? It's like, really, why would you have lost a whole lot of health? It's the very beginning of the stage. So, nice that they have that there, but couldn't you have hidden it somewhere else? Just saying. Besides that, right after this area, there's a piece of cake, and cake restores most of your health anyway, so... Not sure why they hit that there. But I mostly picked up the rose because it was kind of in the way, and to show it off, just so that it's there. Because, like, you really don't want to pick up an item, like, while you're trying to hit an enemy. That's just a good way to take even more damage. Shoot, timing's off. There we go. So these should time out just right, where I can turn around, attack this enemy. That only times out well if they decide to line up like that too, which happens most of the time, but not all the time. Of course that guy's just gonna stand there. Also, interestingly, if there's like two blue guys, or two of the same kind of guy, like the blue guys, on the screen, one of them likes to stand there, but if there are two of them, and you're not hitting the other one will try to sneak behind you. Just every time, that's what they like to do. Shoot. About to be an enemy spawning on screen there. That's why I moved up. Because they can land on you. Trying to get an extra hits there. These jumping enemies are a pain, too. It's just, yeah, they're just a real pain. I just take out these enemies first because, just getting them out of the way is a little more convenient. Because you don't want them roll attacking you at the wrong time. Right, that's all three of them. And this is the last wave of enemies before the final boss room, which has several more waves of enemies, but I feel like they're a little easier to deal with than the ones in these main corridors. Mostly because the next area has closed off walls and it's harder for the enemies to dodge you. So a lot of this is just getting these... There's always going to be two enemies on screen until you fight Endymion, just before Queen Beryl. You actually want to be low on health here, because you want to use your iframes on Queen Beryl as well. Shoot, did not want to kick him. Because ideally, if you have iframes, well, like I said, you're going to end up doing more damage. But also, Queen Beryl tends to have a lot of RNG, tends to attack you at unfair times, and yeah, it's better if you can have iframes and do extra damage. She also always has two enemies on screen to help her out. So taking out one isn't really going to help. I think you can take all of them out, but it's just a lot slower than just going for Queen Beryl directly. So here I'm going to get hit a lot. Partially because taking damage and having less health for Queen Beryl is good. Partially because he gets iframes and timing out your attacks is a little easier if you've taken some damage. Okay, so good. We're really low on health. Don't want that item that gives you full health right away. And you want to be knocked to the right, actually, so this is ideal. And now we can do extra damage. See, she's got iframes again. I had no choice but to do that. Shoot. So it's kind of hard to line it up, too. While she's doing that, she's invincible. So, usually you do lose a lot of lives here. But we got iframes again. which is good. And time. That's it. So that's the run. And so pretty much from there, it just kind of shows you the credits. But yeah, really short game. Casually, it's pretty easy. But yeah, it's a lot of fun if you want to pick it up. And there's a lot of variety. I usually play Sailor Jupiter and try to just get faster times with her. But each of the characters does attack differently. Like Sailor Venus has a longer attack, does less damage, but you have more range. But they all have something like a suppression attack to knock all the enemies back, some kind of projectile attack, different stuff like that. So there's variety in the game for sure. But yeah, it's a fun run. Hope you guys want to try it out. There's a lot of neat tech in there, and it's a really great community. So yeah, thanks for watching. All right, so that's it. That's pretty much the end of it. I don't know what Chibi Moon's doing there. She wasn't in season 1, but they put her in there anyway.